evening. My name is Devorah Faracci. I am the wife of Matthew Faracci, president of Gideon 300, and we are honored to co-sponsor this event with the Isaiah Projects. My husband, Matthew Faracci, really wanted to be here tonight, but he was called to some business in Washington, D.C., so I'm here in his place. I did not have the privilege to know Charlie personally, but my husband did, and so I got to hear firsthand from him his interactions with Charlie. So he got to know Charlie through different events, different work events, and what he quickly learned was that Charlie really enjoyed debating. No surprise. And he was at an event, and Charlie just sort of tapped him on the back and said, "Hey, do you know that passage in Exodus chapter 1 that talks about the Hebrew midwives?" And my husband said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, what do you think? Do you think they were Egyptian or Hebrew?" So my husband paused and he said, "Well, I think they're Hebrew." And Charlie said, "No, they're Egyptian." And so the two of them would continue to have an ongoing debate about this that would span months. And my husband would think, "Oh, I think I put it to rest. I think the last thing I told Charlie convinced him." No. Sure enough, 2 weeks later, he'd get the text with Charlie's evidence as to why the midwives were Egyptian. So that was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun for my husband to have this back and forth with Charlie. Another thing that really impressed my husband and surprised him was when Charlie, just sort of out of the blue, told him, "You know, I keep Shabbat." And my husband said, What do you mean you keep Shabbat?" And he said, "Well, I turn off my technology and I observe Shabbat from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown." And this floored my husband, and he was so impressed by that. And he said, how did you come to this decision?" And it was just from his extensive study of the Torah and of learning. And he was so committed to his faith that when he understood the importance of Shabbat, he wanted to incorporate that into his own family, into his own life. And he was so excited about the book he was working on how to keep the Shabbat. He would talk to my husband about it, and he would always light up about it. And it was something very special to him. When we lose a friend, when we lose somebody important to us, I think it's natural that we all wonder, did I let that person know how important they were to me? Did I let them know how special they are? And not too long before Charlie was shot, my husband had the opportunity to do just that. He had a face-to-face encounter with Charlie, and the topic of this encounter was Israel. And at the time, Charlie was upset. He was upset because he felt that he was coming under attack. He was being accused of being an anti-Semite, and he was upset, naturally. And this was an opportunity for my husband to speak to him, and he said, "Listen, Charlie, we don't feel that way. That may be their opinion, but as a Jew, we see what you've done for Israel. We see how you defend the Jewish people. We see how you support us. And I want you to know that you're on the right track. And I want you to keep fighting. Don't stop fighting," something that Charlie often said to us. And by telling Charlie that, I think my husband was helping him and encouraging him and was acting at that time as a friend to Charlie. And so Charlie will always be remembered so fondly by my husband. And he was not only a friend to my husband, but he was also a friend to Israel. Thank you.